Okay, beautiful soul. I was just channeling on what I believe your soul and the collective most desires to receive today. So I'm always doing that before I'm stepping into this space because ultimately it's not what does Christina think I should know. It's how can I be used as a vessel to share with you what God Source Universe is desiring for you to know. So anytime that you land on this podcast, there's a reason your angels and guides guided you into the space so that you could then receive this message in particular. So if you're here, absolutely stay, listen all the way until the end. There's always going to be that golden nugget that you're like, I didn't know that I needed to hear that until I just heard that. So, what I was being guided to cover today is about really holding the vision of what you desire to manifest and how we can do that when we start to have those limiting beliefs creep in. Because ultimately, it's the beginning of the year. There's so many of us that are like, I have these big goals. I'm going to make 7 figures. I'm going to be, on 50 stages. I'm going to expand my family. I'm going to, all these things that we're so excited about creating. Right. And so often what we're witnessing in our 3D reality is that it might not be here yet. And for a lot of people, that's when they start to quit. But what I was being guided to remind you of is the fact that your 3D reality is actually an old manifestation based on old thought patterns. So we have to continue to hold the thought patterns that are in alignment with the thing that we desire so that the external reality can catch up. So really let that sink in. The 3D reality you're experiencing right now is based on a collection of thoughts that you had in the past. So often we start to recreate our thinking, we start to take inspired action, and then sometimes we're not seeing the immediate results. And it's just because the 3D reality hasn't caught up to us yet. And that's where a lot of people quit. So I'm actually really excited that the universe guided me into this because I think a lot of people start out the new year with, I've got these big goals. I'm going to the gym every day. I'm cutting out carbs. I'm, doing all these things. And then this is kind of the time where it starts to falter a little bit. This is why I believe that it's coming through right now at the end of January to remind you guys. And now this is going to be airing, at the very end of January, leading into, February. This is the perfect time to reignite and to re-engage with your vision that you saw for 2025, right? Because so often we're, there's like, let's say there's a version of you that's like, I want to make 7 figures. And then the month passed and you're like, well, now I only have 11 months to make 7 figures. There's no way. And we start to take a step away from what our intuition was guiding us into, what our highest self was guiding us into. Because if we're excited about a vision that are receiving, we are literally tapping into a future timeline. We just tapped into a future timeline. And so it's really imperative for us to keep holding the vision when we're experiencing a void in our 3D reality. This void makes people, myself included, very uncomfortable, right? And so we have to be able to figure out how to move through the void in a way that's going to support us and in a way that's really going to nourish our spirit and our mind and our body as we're continuing to step forward towards the thing that we're wanting to manifest, whatever that is. So the thing that's really important that I think we need to really dial into is recognizing when our thoughts are out of alignment with the thing that we desire. So the example I just gave was, let's say you're wanting to scale to 7 figures. Your first month passed and you're like, I didn't make what I desired. Or let's say you took 7 figures, divided it by 12. Wow, I'm not even close to that figure in January. I should just give up for the rest of the year. No, we have to challenge those thoughts. There's always a miracle that's available. You could literally make all of that in the last month of the year, right? Like there's endless possibilities. We're sourcing it all. What we are in charge of is holding the frequency of the thing that we desire and also starting to really recognize when our thoughts are out of alignment with the thing that we desire most. So we have to alchemize in real time. Notice the thoughts as they come in that say, well, okay, it's too late. Nope. Pause. What's the opposite of that? What can you start to say that's going to have you actually feel your desire in every single cell of your body? And what I mean by that is I want you to, some of the things that I do to really help myself to really feel into that vision is I will sometimes close my eyes and say out loud, I am so grateful for, and then I just start leaning into the thing that I'm so excited about, right? So you just start saying it out loud. I'm so grateful to be making the 7 figures every year. It feels so good to be able to say yes to everything that my soul desires. I know that I came here to expand, and it feels so incredible to be able to say yes to everything that lights my soul up. Yes to everything that excites me. Yes to be able to gift things to people I care about. Yes to be able to experience life in a brand new way. I'm so grateful to be able to give back in the way that I've always desired to, my heart to be able to tip the way that I've always wanted to, hundreds of dollars tipping people left and right to be able for them to feel that abundance moving through them. I'm so grateful, God, source, universe, for being able to impact people, impact so many people as they're coming into my space. I feel this in my bones to be able to say like their life has transformed because they tapped into that energy and now they're witnessing that energy within themselves. I'm so grateful to be able to impact the planet the way that I know that my soul desired to do. Right? So that right there, that is an intentional gratitude rant. Like we want to feel that in every single cell of our body. We want to feel it in our bones. And so when you catch yourself in that limiting belief that says, well, January already passed, I might as well give it up. Can you feel the difference between those two statements? The energetic frequency between two of those. Which one do you think is going to manifest in the thing you desire? That gratitude rant that I just went on, right? Or the one that says, well, might as well give up. Okay, great. Now your 3D reality is reacting to both, right? God, source, universe, like Amazon, is taking your order. Which order are you placing? Which order are you reiterating, right? Because we place the order. And so now our goal is to say, okay, recognize when a limiting belief is coming through and start to actually alchemize that in real time. It's so, so, so important for us to alchemize it in real time, right? So some of the things that I do that I find really supportive are I have these little flashcards. So this is something tactical that you could do. And you literally write out the affirmation of the thing that you're most grateful to have manifest this year. So you have this written. I have a set of flashcards that I have in my purse. I have a set of flashcards that I have on my mirror. And I have a set of flashcards that I have on my bedside table so that I can read these before bed and really get myself into the energy of the thing that I'm manifesting. So the other place I have it is on my desk, right? And so this is a visual representation of the energy I'm leaning into, such that when my thoughts start to go in the other direction, I have something that reminds me of, oh, wait, I want to drop back into this. So for me, sometimes that means I'm just touching the side of the flashcards and I'm just feeling them in my hands. And that's a reminder of like, I set powerful intentions. My energy that I had when I was leaning into this cards are so high vibe that when I touch the cards, I immediately feel that energy again. So it is a felt sensation. It's a visual sensation. You're witnessing what's written on the page. When you're saying it out loud, you're hearing it. It's starting to really engage all of your senses, including your sixth sense, which knows this absolutely gets to come to fruition. You just get to hold that frequency and heal everything that's in the way. So for a lot of people too, that's a vision board, right? It's leaning into a vision board that's a visual representation of what you desire. So for some people that might be, printing out one picture of the thing that they want, or an actual board where they've printed out all these pictures, or maybe it's in the phone wallpaper on your phone, right? Maybe it's all the places, maybe it's everywhere. But the power of that is what it's really doing is it's having it speak to your subconscious when we want to be programming our subconscious in a way that it works for us versus against us, right? So if you have these visual representations, such as the note cards, such as, the vision board that's right off to the side of your screen that you can be witnessing on your phone that you're on every single day. And it's reminding you of the thing that you're creating. You have an energetic feeling when you see it. You're excited. You're connected to that vision. You want to keep leaning into it. That is a very much so felt sensation in the body. And that's what's required of us to keep holding that frequency as we're leaning in, because the thing that we desire is at a higher frequency, or we would have it in our reality right now. So the thoughts, all of our thoughts have an energetic weight, and we are essentially the average energetic weight of all of the thoughts that we have within us, both subconscious and conscious. So think about some of those limiting beliefs that have been coming through and how the lower vibrational frequency, how heavy those thoughts are. We have to interrupt those in real time. It is so imperative to interrupt those in real time. So the way that I do it is when I notice the limiting belief, I will actually say the opposite, whatever the opposite is, I will literally say that out loud, right? I will literally say like, cancel, clear. I'll say that out loud too. Like if I notice the limiting belief come through, I'm like, oh no, we're canceling that one. That's not the one I want. And the one that I really want is, and then I drop into the gratitude rant. I say it out loud. I feel it in my bones. I mean, you guys, I did this in the car the other day as I was leaving, dropping off a package, and I like had my eyes closed and I'm like starting to say it and I'm fully leaned in. I'm like, yes, I'm like literally screaming. And I open my eyes. There's like a 60-year-old man that's literally looking at me at the car. And I'm like so high vibe that I'm like, hi, like waving. And I'm like, as I'm driving away, I'm like, this guy thinks I'm an actual psychopath. He's like, what is this girl on? And I'm like, effing life. Like, this is the vibe that everyone actually desires. And we can create that within ourselves without the use of drugs. Like, we can literally do this. It's so powerful. So, I mean, maybe we can do it without, having people stare at us and say, what the heck? But honestly, maybe I planted some seeds. Maybe he'll be like, cool. Like, I don't know what that was about, but maybe somewhere down the road, he's going to be like in his garage doing it, and like leaning into the space. Who knows? It doesn't matter. The point is, I chose to shift that limiting belief in real time and feel into how good that feels in my body. And then I decided to reverse out and wave at this stranger, right? So we have to feel that in our body. So I got the intuitive ping, by the way, as I was channeling to try to figure out kind of what God, source, universe wanted to move through me for you. And the other thing that came through was to gift you guys access to the quantum vision boarding experience again. I have gotten so many people texting me, DMing me, asking to step into that space again. So I have leaned into the intuitive ping and I'm reopening doors for you to be able to access that experience again for the next week. So if that is something that you desire to lean into, click the link below in the show notes. This is essentially the quantum vision boarding experience is going to be an experience that you are going to be stepping into where, one, you're going to notice the limiting beliefs. So often they're living in our subconscious. I pull it out through an exercise so that you can start to recognize what has been living there under my consciousness. I pull it out, right? Through this exercise, we start to really connect to what it is. And then we do a healing around it. So this is another way that we start to raise our frequency, is that we go in and we start to really tackle what is living in my subconscious that isn't working for me. And let me start to cleanse and clear the energy around that. It needs to be cleansed and cleared. So really, really imperative to cleanse and clear it so that we can step into the vision of our future. So the reason I think I'm so able to drop into that vision and that feeling, the excitement of the thing that I want, is because I did the latter part of the exercise too, that's in this quantum vision boarding experience, which is really immersing yourself into the vision that you are manifesting and creating, because our imagination and our mind does not know the difference between what is happening in our 3D reality and what is happening in our imagination. Our mind does not know the difference. So if we are literally living it in our imagination, your mind is starting to normalize that experience. Your mind is like, whoa, we've been here before. We've made the 7 figures. We've expanded the family. We've impacted millions of people. We wrote the book. We're on the big stages, whatever it is you're manifesting, right? Your mind is like, I've already done it. It's starting to normalize that experience. And what I have you do in this exercise is I have you really immerse your 5 senses into the experience. So you are feeling, tasting, touching, hearing all of the things that are happening such that it feels so real in your body that when you do this gratitude rant, you can't help but go back to that experience and drop into that experience so deeply that you don't notice when strangers are looking at you and judging you. And it doesn't matter because we are high on life and we are manifesting in every single thing that we desire to pull into our 3D reality, right? So it's absolutely incredible. So that is my gift to you. And then at the very end of that, we're creating an actual quantum vision board, which is powerful. So you can do a digital one, you can do one that's actually physical that you have in your space. You can do both. It doesn't matter. I create spaciousness for it. And then I guide you in how to actually add quantum energy into that vision board. And simultaneously, I guide you into asking your angels and guides to support you with that and for you to actually be able to notice when things are coming into your 3D reality. I want us to be able to recognize signs that are happening all around us so that if the big vision isn't quote unquote here yet in our 3D reality, we're recognizing the signs that are telling us, oh, don't worry, your order is out for delivery, right? You know those little notifications that we get from Amazon? Hey, your package it's been packaged up, it's been shipped, it's out for delivery. That's very calming for our nervous system, right? So I set the intention for you to set some really powerful energy around the vision boards so that when you're leaning into that space, you're getting the notifications as you're moving in. And that is really helpful when we're in the void of waiting for like okay, is this actually going to happen type of thing. So this is my gift to you. I'm so excited to gift this back to you. There's just been so many people that have reached out that either want to rewatch it because it brought them so deeply into that healing, that vision, that experience of building the quantum vision board. So they either want to rewatch it or they just want access to it. So I'm opening those doors back up. I'm so excited for you to be able to lean into that space. It is my gift to you. It is my gift to humanity. And I'm very excited to see what starts to come through. A lot of people went a lot deeper than they thought that they would, which is amazing because we want to be able to feel it in our bones. It makes it happen so much faster. So I am so grateful because that was such a fun experience. And I'm so grateful to see what unfolds for you as you start to lean into that space. So thank you guys so much for leaning into this space today. I am sending you so much light and love. If you tuned in today, this was 100% for you. I created this specifically for you. I channeled this specifically for you. So I'm so grateful to hear what your golden nuggets are. Leave that in the comments if you're on Spotify or if you're in Apple, either space, leave that 5-star review. That really allows for more people in the collective to access information like this about how to tune into their intuition, how to build that 7+ figure business, how to really be in alignment with their soul's deepest desires and to be paid abundantly for their gifts. The reason I'm on this planet is to support people in doing that, because to live this way, to live in alignment, to be able to say yes to your soul, God-given gifts, give them back into humanity, and then be paid abundantly for them it is like the greatest gift in the entire world. And it is my deepest pleasure to be able to remind you how to do that, because you already know in your subconscious. We're just unearthing that information such that you're able to do it faster and more in alignment and really be able to access what lights you up the most. Because if you're currently unhappy with your 3D reality, it just means you're living out of alignment. Those feelings that you're experiencing are just telling you that you're out of alignment currently, and it's so important to get back into alignment. Right. And so that is what this space does. It reminds you how to get back into alignment. It reminds you how to tap back into that intuition. And it teaches you and it has you remember how to manifest in every single thing that you desire in your life, whether it be 7+ figures, whether it be expanding your family, whether it be keynote speaking, all the things, whatever it is so beautifully unique to you, and it's meant to be. Right. I'm the biggest stand for the fact that we are not meant to be cookie cutter versions for each other, even though society and the collective energy says we need to be cookie cutter versions of each other. I say F that. I say follow what lights you up, because you are meant to play your unique note in this universal symphony. And I am here to remind you of that. This symphony, this harmony would not be the same without you playing your unique note. So I'm so excited for you to start to really activate and play that music. So I'm sending you so much light and love. I'm so grateful for you spending your beautiful time and energy in this space. And until next time, mwah.